Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette real reason Joan Vassos kept top 3 men. When it comes to choosing a winner, the Golden Bachelorette herself, Joan Vassos, has a lot to consider. There are a few factors that weigh into the important decision, one being finances. Based on her choices throughout the season, she's been keeping that in mind. In the eyes of several viewers, though, it might be a little too important to her. Read on to find out what happened. Is Joan Vassos a gold digger? There are 3 men standing in Golden Bachelorette, each vying for Joan's love. While they all come from different states and have unique backgrounds, they do share an aspect in common. Based on their online information, it looks as though the bachelors are all fairly well off. And because of that, some are claiming that is all Joan is searching for. On X, viewers began calling out the reality TV star, accusing her of only looking for a guy with a lot of money and not caring about anything else. Here are a few of the posts, 2 minutes in, and she mentions the men's rich lives. That about says it all. She didn't pick Jordan 'cause he didn't have enough money. Look at the 3 left. Coincidence? No way in hell. Vassos hasn't publicly addressed the backlash just yet. Their lavish lifestyles. For starters, Chalk has become quite wealthy as he is a successful real estate mogul. Not only does he own several homes, which reportedly total over $1 million in value, but he owns multiple boats as well. As a cherry on top, Chappell is also the president of his own insurance agency. Speaking of owning his own business, Pascal Ivey is a proud entrepreneur who owns a lavish hair salon in Chicago. As seen in the hometown episode, if Joan does choose him, she can expect to be pampered with complimentary services for life. Guy is in the wealthy tier 2. Gansard is an emergency room doctor who is still operating in Reno, Nevada. He hasn't publicly shared his salary, but the average ER doctor gets 6 figures annually. Needless to say, if Joan wanted to quit working, any one of her remaining bachelors would be more than capable of supporting her. Joan's a working girl. It is important to note that on the outside looking in, Joan is doing well for herself. She's a school administrator for a private school in Maryland. The tuition for the school begins at over $45,000 for 3rd graders and goes up to nearly $55,000 a year for high school students. It's safe to assume that the staff for this academy get paid a pretty penny. As a side hustle, Vassos is also an interior designer and has been for almost 4 years. It's unclear how much she makes from this side hustle. Joan Vassos, the poised and elegant lead of the Golden Bachelorette, has had fans captivated from the very start. As the weeks dwindled and the once crowded mansion emptied, 3 men stood at the finish line, each vying for her final rose. But was their placement merely the result of organic connections, or did Joan have a deeper, more strategic reason for keeping these particular men until the end? Speculation has been running wild among Bachelor Nation, with theories ranging from sentimental to scandalous. While Joan has maintained that her choices were led purely by her heart, whispers behind the scenes suggest otherwise. Could it be that her decision-making was not as straightforward as she wanted viewers to believe? Let's break down the real reason Joan Vassos kept her top 3 men. 1. Chalk Chappell. The safe bet. Chalk Chappell, the charming, family-oriented gentleman from Tennessee, was an obvious finalist from the start. He was the first to get a one-on-one date, the first to meet Joan's closest friends, and the first to declare his feelings openly. To many, his presence in the top 3 was no surprise. He checked all the traditional Golden Bachelor boxes. But there's something more to Joan's connection with Chalk. Insiders claim that producers nudged Joan to keep at least one safe choice in her final 3. A man with a squeaky clean past, no exes waiting in the wings to spill the tea, and no social media scandals lurking. In essence, Chalk was a security blanket, a backup plan, a man who, if nothing else, guaranteed that Joan would leave the show with a good guy. However, was he too safe? Some fans believe Joan was never truly head over heels for Chalk, but rather kept him around as a palate cleanser, someone who could balance out the drama of her other two finalists. And as we know, drama was inevitable. 2. Pascal Abu, the wild card. Pascal Abu, the charismatic and somewhat mysterious entrepreneur, was a wild card in more ways than one. He didn't seem like the conventional pick for a lead like Joan, yet there was undeniable chemistry between them. Their flirtation was electric, their conversations deep, and their attraction undeniable. Still, something about Pascal's presence in the top 3 raised eyebrows. Was Joan genuinely in love with Pascal, or was she intrigued by the unpredictability he brought to the show? Some sources suggest that Pascal's reputation as a lover of the high life played into Joan's decision. After all, as a widow and a woman who has spent years focusing on others, she may have been drawn to a man who could reintroduce excitement into her life. However, fans noticed a shift in Joan whenever Pascal spoke about his jet-setting lifestyle and business ventures. Did she see a future with him, or was she simply enjoying the ride? More importantly, did she keep him around for the audience's sake, knowing that a relationship with Pascal would make for compelling television? 3. Guy Gansert, the one that got away? Or did he? Guy Gansert's placement in Joan's top 3 was the most talked about of all. From the very beginning, Guy had been a fan favorite, radiating confidence, warmth, and a certain old Hollywood charm. But his journey with Joan wasn't always smooth sailing. Unlike Chalk, who played it safe, and Pascal, who kept things unpredictable, Guy was the one who challenged Joan emotionally. Their relationship had layers, deep conversations, moments of vulnerability, and even a few heated debates. He was the man who could push Joan to be her most authentic self. But was she ready for that? Rumors swirled that Joan may have had reservations about Guy's past. His well-documented divorce and a restraining order from years ago that had recently resurfaced in the tabloids. Some fans speculated that Joan was hesitant to let him go too soon, fearing backlash from those who saw him as a top contender. Others believed that Guy was actually her top choice all along, but she kept her options open as a safeguard. There's also the theory that Joan's ultimate decision on whether to pick Guy was influenced by her children. Family approval is a big factor in this stage of life. And it's no secret that Joan places great importance on her children's opinions. If they didn't see a future with Guy, could that have made her hesitate? The strategy behind the final 3-wild romance is the foundation of the show. The Golden Bachelorette is still a carefully orchestrated reality series, and Joan, whether consciously or subconsciously, played the game well, keeping a mix of safe, exciting, and emotionally deep contenders ensured that her season remained engaging until the very end. Each of her top 3 men served a different purpose. Chalk was the safe choice, a reminder that love could be stable and secure. Pascal was the exciting risk, the man who brought unpredictability and passion. Guy was the emotionally charged one, the relationship that could either make or break her. Whether Joan ultimately followed her heart or let other factors influence her decision remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, her final 3 weren't just random picks. They were carefully chosen, intentionally kept, and strategically placed to make her journey as unforgettable as possible. As the finale approaches, Bachelor Nation eagerly awaits to see who will win Joan's final rose. Will she go for the safe choice, embrace the risk, or finally let herself fall into the arms of the man who has always been the one? Only time will tell.